do do doobie doo wah ba ba ba.
Hey guys, it's me, Emily. I started working on this composition notebook last night because I just really wanted to do some art, and I don't have a lot of time to do it. I have a 1-year-old daughter, and I'm going to school as well online, so I wanted something I could just play around in really quick. So I was inspired by Liz Drake and Tangie Baxter. Liz Drake calls her book Big Fatty, and Tangie Baxter calls hers just a junk journal. So eventually, I want to fill this up with stuff so it'll be real big and I won't be able to close it. I started on it a little bit last night. I added some stickers to the cover. I got this composition notebook from Walmart for like $1. I usually only see them around like the school year, beginning of the school year, but you might be able to find them. I've also got books like this even cheaper from Ollie's, Tuesday Morning, Dollar Tree has them. You can pretty much find them anywhere. So I like this because it's just so easily accessible. So I'm going to be following Tangie's videos, which I'll link down below, and I'll try to link Liz Drake's video as well. She has a bunch of videos on her Big Fatty, but I'll link at least one of them so you can find her. So Tangie says, to begin with, you want to prepare the pages by putting old scrapbook paper on them and by mashing them up and like putting ink on them, or I did some watercolor on here last night. So I'm just gonna go through and start the process. Alright, well that didn't work out as planned. I've been trying all these different things to get my camera to work, and none of them seem to be working, so I'm trying this. This is my iPad. It has a worse video quality than my phone, but I figure something's better than nothing, right? So when we left off, I was getting ready to cut some scrapbook paper to paste in to some of these pages. So I had a box of big pieces of scrapbook paper that I keep the big pieces all together in one box. So I'm just going to cut a few more to show you what I did not record. That I thought I was recording. So here are some of my pages. Ooh, I think I want these to show through in the journal. So I might try to include those. Here's my template. Definitely want those in there. And I was saying, this part didn't get recorded either, but I'm a perfectionist, so part of the reason that I'm doing this project is to get over my perfectionism. When I am a perfectionist about my art, it just exhausts me, and that's not the purpose of art, right? the purpose of doing this stuff is to give me some relief from the stress that I deal with every day. So if it doesn't come out perfect, oh well. For example, when I cut this page, it's not going to be perfect. This part is cut out, so some of the composition page will show through, but that's okay. It will help me to get over my perfectionism. If it already looks a little junky, then I'll be able to be more junky with it, right? Okay, so I'm just going to cut around this template that I made. I made this template based on the one that Tangie shows in her how-to video. So see, these are ready to paste in. Before I started crafting, I really did not like pink, but now, for some reason, I like it. But I guess that's what happens when you open yourself up to creativity. By getting rid of your perfectionism, is you learn things about yourself you didn't know before. But as you can see, I'm still being somewhat perfectionist, like lining these up perfectly. One thing you can do too is if, say for example, I wanted a certain part of this picture in here that I couldn't get by lining my template up this way, I could flip it over and do it like that. And you want to have pages that you can put on either side of the composition notebook. Like, I put one on this side already, and then I put one on this side. So you see what I mean? You need to cut them. Glued my pages together. You need to cut them to go on this side of the page and that side of the page. Well, you don't have to, but you can do it however you want, but that's how I want to do it. I want to switch it up a little bit. I like this paper a lot. It reminds me of Halloween, and I love Halloween. I didn't realize I loved it until this year, which is weird. I mean, because I always enjoyed it, but for some reason I never thought that it was my favorite holiday, but it is one of my favorite holidays. So I'm just gonna cut around here. And I'm thinking, I'm not gonna show, I don't know. I might do a process video that's like me doing this in real time, but then also have an option for a video that's been sped up, because I know some people don't have the patience to watch real-time process videos. I personally like to watch them, but sometimes some people don't. So I might do two different versions of the same video for different audiences. Those came out pretty. I like this paper. It has some glitter on there. I got this from the thrift store. It was a sweet find. So see, these are just not perfect, but that's okay. This is meant to be a junk journal, and I want it to inspire me to be junky. So I'm just going to flip through and see which pages I want to paste these into. I might speed through this part even in the real-time process video because pasting can be boring. So I'm just going to randomly select some pages. Plus, I don't really know what to talk about in my real life. I'm an introvert. I guess this is my real life, but for you guys who don't know me, I'm an introvert, and I usually don't talk a lot. But I'll try to make these videos not as boring. So it's really nice weather out today. I mean, it's a little bit cool, but I opened up the house anyway because I like to have fresh air. I just like to air out the house whenever I get a chance. I like to use washcloth to help paste my paper down. It helps get all the air bubbles out, but it also is nice because my fingers are usually covered with sticky paste, and so I don't want to use my fingers on the paper and leave a residue. So I like to use this use a washcloth. I think I might go back on some of these and washi tape around the edges just to secure the paper a little bit better. We'll see. And I like to do one in the front and then one in the back, just to kind of keep it even. I've seen on other people's videos where if you work only in the back or only in the front, it kind of warps the spine of the book. So I'm trying to do a little bit on each. Which one do I want to use? I think I'll use this one. This one's pretty. It reminds me of like Japanese prints, a Japanese pattern. I'm really excited to get this notebook started because I am a hoarder. I save all kinds of things. And I'll be able to save them in this notebook now. So it won't just be like random pieces of paper laying around my house. I'll have them in this notebook and then I can feel less like a hoarder. Although getting into art has been not good for my hoarding because I just keep buying stuff. I'm thinking about joining the 100 Things Challenge by Dances with Pit Bulls, where I have to make 100 things before I can buy anything else. But like this week, there was a sale at Michael's on Halloween stuff, so I went and stocked up on a bunch of Halloween papers and stickers, stamps and stencils, and the Michaels in my area is moving to a new location, so they're also having a big sale to help them get rid of stuff before they move. So then of course I had to get some other things that were like 90% off. And I went in there with a $25 gift card, intending to only spend the money on the gift card, but that didn't happen. I have a problem. But I have that same problem with books. So I just don't allow myself to go into bookstores anymore because I know I'll come out with something. So now I only let myself go to the library. But there's really not anything like that for crafts. Like, there's nowhere near me where I can like borrow crafting materials. Although there is a place, but it's like, I don't know, 30 minutes away, and sometimes the traffic is terrible to get there. I think it's called Makerspace, and you basically pay like a membership fee and you can use the stuff that they have there, which is pretty cool because they have a 3D printer, they have, I don't know what it's called, but it's like a laser cutter that can cut through wood and probably other materials too. That's all I saw when I visited there with my friend who had a membership, but I'm sure they have a lot more stuff. I love this paper. This is so pretty. Such a pretty color. So I just always like to flip through to see like the colors I've used and try and keep things kind of balanced. You know, like I don't want all pink in the back or all blue in the front. Excuse me. I think I'm gonna do this one here. Look how cute that is with the punches. That's why it's fun using scraps. It just adds so much more interest. It's so hard for me to find this purple glue. They don't have it at the Michaels by me. Well, we have a few Michaels, but I haven't seen them at either of the Michaels. I saw these at the grocery store Walmart by my house when they were having when they had back to school supplies. But like I said, I have hoarding tendencies, so I didn't want to buy a whole bunch because that's how I get myself into trouble. I'm like, I need to stock up on this stuff so I can have it when I need it. But then I just end up having a bunch of stuff. And we have a little house, so I don't want it filled up with stuff. We're trying to live a minimalist lifestyle. I don't know how I'm going to do that with my crafting supplies. I told my husband, I said, I can be a minimalist, but then I need a craft room. We were talking about maybe getting like a tiny home, and I said, that's okay. Like, I think I can live in a tiny home, but I'll need a second tiny home to be my art studio. It's going to be so fun to play in this. I've been really enjoying mixed media. I love seeing layers of stuff. It just makes me happy. I guess it's because Maybe because that's what life is like. Ooh, this might be pretty on the cover. I mean, I already have a pretty cover. I know I don't want to cover up this one because I have stickers on here already. Kind of like, I don't know if I want to cover this stuff up. I'm a math person, so I like seeing numbers and charts. It's soothing to me. I'll think about this one. I might come back with it. I don't know. I'll put this to the side for now. I keep wanting to do this one, but should I do upside down butterflies? Here's another one with punches. I think I'll do this one. I've just been so inspired by everybody I've been seeing on YouTube. I get obsessive about watching these crafting videos, but then I just think about watching videos. I'm like, I need to actually make something. So that's why I started this, because last night I was just obsessing and I was like, I need to make something, but I don't want to get a ton of supplies out that I have to clean up. That'll take me forever to set up. I want something I can do in like 5 minutes and be able to put it down easily. So I decided to start a composition junk journal. I was also watching Carolyn Doobie. She has a free class you can sign up for. All you have to do is just give her your email address and she'll send videos to your email on how to make basically a junky art journal. The class is called Permission to Play, and I really enjoyed it. She's just like on the same line of thinking that I am with doing this type of artwork. I just want to go back to how it was when I was a kid, when I didn't care about what my art looked like. I just did it for fun. When I was a kid, I did weird artwork. I liked to draw maps. I would draw maps of my neighborhood, like an overhead view looking down. And I'd put landmarks on there like the movie theater that was on the end of my block. And there actually weren't a lot of houses on my block. It was us. We had I lived in a condo, and then there was an apartment building next to our unit, and then another set of condos. I think that was it. Everything else was a business. So I wasn't allowed to like play outside very much. I couldn't ride my bike around the neighborhood or anything because it was basically the city. And who knows what weirdos were lurking out there. So in a way I had to grow up quick. There have been a lot of things that have led me to this point of wanting to do mixed media and like getting back in touch with my creativity, because I can do like detailed drawings and paintings and stuff, but it just takes so much energy out of me. I didn't really want to do that anymore, and once I had my daughter, I definitely didn't have the energy to do it. So that's why I'm doing this. But I want to do a video at some point of all the things that came together in my life that influenced me to start doing mixed media and start trying to go back to how things were as a child. I read one book, well, it's a comic book or like a graphic novel called What It Is by Linda Berry. See, I was going to do a video on it, but maybe I'll just talk about it now. Maybe I'll do a video, like a compilation video or something. But anyway, it's called What It Is by Linda Berry, and I believe she's an art teacher, and she just talks about how she had to unlearn what she had learned in school about art. She said she could remember, you know, in school when kids started getting singled out for having good art. Like, what is good art? And she was one of them who got singled out for it, so then she started changing how she did her art to get that recognition and that approval. And then it wasn't as fun for her. It wasn't like an escape anymore. So she has a process that she lays out in that graphic novel about how you can get some inspiration. You can use it if you're a writer or even for artwork. But that was really the first thing that just sent me on this path, I think. Okay, I have one left. Where do I want to put this one? Sorry if I stop talking every once in a while. I just keep checking to make sure my video is still recording. I have like PTSD about that now, because I've tried to record videos so many times and they just never, they always end up cutting out in the middle, and it's so frustrating to like, because I waited to do this until I was able to record it, just because I wanted to be able to inspire some people out there. And so when it doesn't record, I'm like, why did I even wait to do this? I mean, it would still be fun to do it no matter what, if I was recording or not. And I'm sure I'm going to work on a lot of this without recording it, because recording does take some effort. It takes some time to get everything set up. Like, I had to clean off this part of my desk and get the camera set up, and then I'll have to upload it and edit it. I'm gonna try not to edit too much though, because that takes a lot of work, and then it wouldn't be as fun, and then I might not want to record as much. I feel like I need some more in here, but I will do that later. So now I'm gonna do some of these scrunchy pages that Tangie talks about. Where do I want to start? I already did these ones here in the middle. I'll do some in the back. So she says to literally just grab some pages and scrunch them up. I got a little overzealous with my scrunching last night and like ripped one of the pages. So just be careful when you're doing this not to like pull up or pull down, because I mean, you might like the ripped paper look. I've done journals in the past when I was more creative where I actually would like cut holes in the middle of the page so you could see through it to the next one, or you know, like fold the corner up, and have something here, but then also something here, but then you can also see like this page. So there's really all sorts of ways you can do this, but this, I'm just following Tangie's instructions for now because I don't want to get lost in the sauce. So then I just take each individual page and get it scrunched up all nice, all pretty like. Oh, and I did what she said on the video too. I took a stamp pad and kind of just went over the edges of the notebook to get some color on there. But if I do end up putting washi tape around the edges of these pages with the paper on there, that'll look nice on the edges too. And I think it's Jenny Bell who does Juicy Edges, where she takes scraps of paper and just pastes them along the edge. Make sure I'm in frame here. Okay. She pastes them along the edge so they're hanging off a little bit, like I'll just do a little one here as an example. So she would, I think you are supposed to use Mod Podge for this, but I'm just going to do this real quick as an example. But you just paste it here. And then you would fold it over and paste it there. And you would do that like all the way down, and then you have that pretty paper showing on the edges there. Just another idea. There's so much you can do with this. I don't know if I'm going to write in here or not. I've always kept journals that I wrote in. For me, I'm able to process my thoughts better if I can write them down. So I've always kept written journals. I just love the sound of crinkly paper. That's what, so far that's like the funnest thing about this journal. Crinkly. Okay, so let me get my stamp pads. I got these from Tuesday Morning. They're dye ink. I think Tangie used those Distress ink pads by Tim Holtz, I think, or maybe Ranger. I don't know if those are different brands, but those I think are water reactive, whereas this I think should be more permanent. I'm not sure. I'll test it out. But anyway, you just take the cover off of the pad. You just run it over the page, and it picks up there where it's crinkled. And this is just getting the notebook ready so that you can play in it later. Because once you've like crinkled up the page, how can you ruin this? Let's see. Green. But I just love Carolyn Dubie's title of her class, Permission to Play. I'm giving myself permission to play with this notebook. Ooh, I kind of like how that got on the edge there. I think I might play with that a little bit. That came out kind of cool. And I do want to test this to see if it's water reactive. So let me get some water on a brush here. Just see. Nope. Looks like it's permanent, but I did notice that the blue lines on here smear. The blue lines on this paper are water reactive. I mean, they don't totally disappear, but like when I was doing this page last night, let's see, I don't know if you can see that or not, but you can see where the line kind of smeared. These are some watercolor crayons that are actually made for children. I bought them for my daughter, and then when I felt how smoothly they wrote, I was like, I need to use these. She can use them when she gets a little bit older. This will be so fun to trace. See, I'm already getting like ideas for stuff to do. So I'm just gonna go ahead and do it because I think that'll be fun. Like I said, I figured I'd get bored with pasting. Oh, I don't know if you heard that part because the video cut off, but I figured I would get bored with pasting stuff after a while, and I just got bored with crinkling up pages, so I'm gonna do a little accent right here. I'm just gonna color this in. That's pretty. Alright, back to the crinkled page. So, I have some sprays. I got these from Tuesday Morning. You can get a pack of 5 of them for, I think it's $9. But if you look online, like they're usually $9 for one. So it's called Tattered Angels Glitter Mist. I'm loving this stuff. So I think I'll just spray some of this on this page. And I love it because it's just automatically messy. Like, there's no way to really control it. So it forces me to play. And I'm gonna smush it. So it got on the other page. Let's see. I do want to do a little bit of watercolor. Let me get my watercolors. Adjust the camera here a little bit. Sorry, it's not a prettier video. Well, that's me being a perfectionist again. I want to have like pretty videos, but I also just want to put this out there, so I did what I had to do. So I got this set of watercolors off of Amazon. It's supposed to be one of the better brands for how cheap it is. And I have some really nice watercolors that I like to use, but for junk journaling, it just makes it easier for me to play when I know that my supplies are not expensive. So these are some really pretty colors. I've really enjoyed working with this, and it comes with its own brush. And what I did when I bought this is there we go. I used some of the color and put it on here and did it different values. So here's like the darkest red, and here it is with like more water in it, just so I can have an idea of what it's going to look like on paper. Because looking at that, I would never know that it would make that color. Looking at that almost looks black. So this is just easier for me to reference like this rather than like reading the colors off. I need to get a spray bottle so I can wet these down easier, but for now I will just drip some water. I'm not really even thinking about these colors that I'm using. I'm just going to use them. This green is nice and bright. Watercolors are fun. It's like that. It's like the spray. They're not super easy to control, so it kind of helps you to just relax and play around. And this paper may even fall apart from all this moisture, I don't know, but that'll just make the journal more interesting. Ooh, this is so pretty. I like those colors mixed together. That purple. Mixed with this purple. Purple is one of my favorite colors. Let's try this. These are like mermaid colors. I'm loving it. Ever since I've been doing more art, like mixed media art, I've just really got more in touch with my feminine side. I've always felt very masculine. You know, I said I like numbers. So I've always been, I don't know, I just feel more logical and less creative. But creativity is a feminine quality. I mean, men can be creative too, but it's a feminine quality within the man, I would say. Kind of like how liking math is more of a masculine quality, or liking sports would be considered more masculine. But I can be feminine and masculine. I'm still myself. I don't know what I had against being feminine. Oh, I know. I think I was just trying to be equal with men. Whereas now I'm more like, my philosophy more is that men and women are equal but different. There are some women out there who are more masculine than they are feminine, and vice versa for guys, but there's nothing wrong with any of that. Okay, so I showed you pretty much all of the techniques that I've tried out so far. I will be back later to show you. I think I'm going to put some ribbons in here to reinforce the spine like Tangie talks about. Oh, one thing I forgot to show you was how I made this template. So I just took some scrap cardstock that I had and put it in the notebook, and I lined it up with this right here. You can do it however you want, and then I just traced around the edge and cut it out, and that's how I made my template. And Tangie was saying you don't want your cardstock to go all the way into the middle of the book, otherwise it can compromise the binding. Now, she did say like composition journals hold up to a lot of abuse, but I guess not. They don't hold up to scrapbook paper all the way to the middle of the spine. I don't know why. But anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this. I'm really looking forward to doing more videos and being part of the YouTube crafting community. So if you have any ideas for other videos I can do, or if you liked certain things about this video, just let me know in the comments, and I'll keep that in mind for future videos. Alright, well, I'll see you guys later.